Good evening, and thank you all for joining our event tonight here for our kickoff event. My name is KC Nlemchi, Chairman for the BYP Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce. We are excited to have you all here with us tonight. In advance, I want to thank you all so much for y'all's time. The symbols BYP for our organization means Black and Brown Young Professional. That symbol represents who we are and our goal to connect with other young professionals who come from similar backgrounds as us. We are here to continue the legacy of those before us who has built a foundation for us to have this platform to connect and grow together as professionals. We are entrepreneurs who are passionate about serving our community and making an impact, especially those of the next generation. Our goal is to help connect other young professionals who are like-minded individuals and other social nonprofit organizations who may want to work and partner with us. In tonight's itinerary, we will hear from our president of the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, that is Ms. Kimberley Evans. Tonight, we will get to know our new executive leaders and their purpose for stepping up to further serve our community. Tonight, we will also highlight two successful young Black entrepreneurs and hear their journey on what steps they've taken to establish themselves as young business owners. And last, we will share our appreciation of former executives, Chairwoman and Co-Chair Gwen and Austin Akers, who has helped establish and start this organization, BYP, through the guidance and mentorship of our former president of Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Dee Dee Bates. So please, without further ado, help me in welcoming our current president, Ms. Kimberley Evans.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for letting me join you guys this evening. I am super excited about this group. One of the things I want to share is, as the newly elected president of the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, we have an amazing legacy to follow, but we also have some new things that we're going to put in place. And I'm excited about the administration that KC is building with all of you and where the Black young professionals are going to go within the chamber. Now, the chamber's mission is all about inspire, build, and grow. And part of the reason the Black young professionals was developed is we really wanted an organization dedicated to providing our young professionals with education, guidance, networking opportunities, and skills development. And we want to do this in your personal and your professional lives. And this is why this is so critically important. For somebody like myself, one of the key things I will tell you that makes a difference in your career and anything you're doing, whether you're working for someone else or running your own business, is mentors. Mentors are the people that are going to pour into you and provide you with the guidance that helps you get to the next step. And so Casey and I had already kind of started chatting about how we want the mentoring program to go this year, how BYP is going to be involved in it, and what we're going to do. But I will tell you that the woman that I am today and all of the opportunities that have presented themselves has literally come from all the mentors I've had in my career all the way back to my 20s. Now, I know y'all think I'm only 29, but I do have a daughter that is 30. So what I will say to you is I'm super excited about the work you're going to do. I'm excited about how we're going to be engaged. And what I'm most excited about is the collaboration. One of the things that tickled me, and I have to share this, and hopefully Casey won't laugh at me for or be frustrated with me for sharing this, was that he was mentioning to me, he's like, well, we communicate with Slack. And he started explaining to me what Slack was. And I was like, I use Slack. I know what that is. And he was like, really? And I was like, no, really, we do. But it's so important that people that have come for generations before you keep track of what's actually happening. I just happen to be very engaged that way because my daughter is in marketing and branding, but it is so important that the learning goes both ways and that we support one another to grow, and that we not only make an impact in our own personal lives, but we make an impact on the community. So what I want people to say at some point in time about the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, as well as BYP, is that A, they know we're here, B, they know we're coming, and if they're not prepared, they better get prepared because they don't really have a choice in the matter. So we are here, we are going to make a difference, we are going to grow, and I'm excited to be able to participate with all of you as we grow. I'm hoping that you guys will use this as a resource. I know what me and KC have already started talking about with the current administration, so I'm super excited about working with all of you and getting to know you. But for those of you that are joining that may or may not be members yet, we look forward to your collaboration too, because here's what I will tell you. All of us can be good at maybe one or two things, but not one of us is smarter than all of us. So if you put all of our resources together, what you're going to find is we are phenomenal. So I really want to encourage each and every one of you to do that. I want you to enjoy the kickoff meeting tonight, and Black History Month could not be a better month to have a kickoff event. And I really want to make sure to encourage you that if you don't know what you need to know, make sure you reach out and ask somebody. Even if we don't know, we have the resources to find it, and BYP is going to be part of that journey with you. And they have the entire Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce supporting them personally. So with that, I hope you guys have an amazing event. Please feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. KC knows how to find me, and I look forward to the rest of this program. Thank you for having me, KC.
Absolutely, absolutely, Ms. Kimberly. Thank you so much for sharing, and we are super excited to start this year's journey. Moving on, when I was blessed with this opportunity to become chair, I knew how critical it would be for me to build an impactful team. Now, that's a team who's passionate about serving our community and has the excitement to create more success stories for other young professionals who represent us, especially those of the youth. See, last year, our focus was to create a platform that encourages us as young Black and Brown professionals to reach our full potential as we continue to transition into the next phase of our journey. We understand that it is our actions today as leaders that can help benefit other professionals to live better lives in achieving their own definition of the American dream. First member that is to be mentioned, we have Daniel Armendariz, who is our new co-chair for this year. See, Daniel and I, we served together last year on the board. We connected and we became friends. Honestly, Daniel was my right-hand man when it comes to strategizing different ways we can come up with unique ways to strengthen our organization. Now, Daniel has a great testimony that he will share with you all shortly. His story is not like many others who've taken the traditional route, but yet overcame and dedicated himself to becoming a true man of character who knows how to handle his business for his community and now as a recruiter. Daniel helped lay the groundwork of last year's success, and I am super excited to have him help build off last year's foundation. Please help me in welcoming our co-chair, Daniel Armendariz.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate the kind words. Like you said, my name is Daniel Armendariz. I'm the co-chair for this Chamber of Commerce group. You know, professionally, my story is a little bit different than most. Like Casey said, I didn't take the traditional college route. I started off at an early age in retail sales. I quickly became a top 25 sales associate for a Fortune 200 company that had well over 600 locations US wide. You know, it was there that I realized my passion for connecting and truly being able to understand the needs of others. With that being said, you know, again, that's kind of where I found my passion. From there, I started my own financial practice with New York Life. That's where I met one of my biggest mentors, Miss Dee Dee Bates. She was actually our past chamber president. While at New York Life, Miss Dee Dee, you know, she instilled multiple lessons and values that I still hold near and dear to my heart today. Ultimately, you know, all the lessons and values that she taught me, that led me to where I currently sit today as an applications information technology recruiter for tech systems. I sit in the telecommunications and transportations market in the DFW area. Like Casey said, this is my second year serving on the board for BYP, and I'm truly just blown away with the amount of impact that we've had and the amount of growth that we've had seen in this past year. I mean, truly our intention was creating and maintaining a hub of knowledge and connections that can be utilized to its fullest by young professionals for young professionals. And, you know, I think I speak for myself as well as the rest of the chamber when we feel confident in the amount of impact, passion, and reach that we're planning to make this year as well as last year. You know, I would like to have your ear for much longer, but before I do that, I'll pass it off to our membership lead, Bryce Latin. He's one of our original members here for the BYP group. Bryce is a fantastic role model, a fantastic father, a fantastic husband, and I'm more than happy to introduce him, Mr. Bryce Latin. Let's give it up to him.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on today. Like Daniel said, my name is Bryce Latin. I'm currently an HR journalist at RealPage, which is a software technology company. I graduated from Grambling State University with a business management degree. In my role here with the Chamber, I am membership lead and have been in this role. This is my second year, as Daniel alluded to. In this role, I've realized this aligns with my passion for people to be a resource for others as well. This also gave me a chance to make a huge impact in the community, connect with other great business professionals, as well as being able to be a mentor to the younger generation. This is why I joined the Chamber. These are my values at heart. I'm super excited to see those that share those same values with me on this call today and join us and become a part of what we have in store for this year. It's easy to treat yourself, but let's invest in ourselves. Thank you. And with that said, I'm going to pass it on to our new secretary lead. She keeps us in line. I know it's kind of a tough duty to keep all of us in line, but she does a great job. She's a healthcare professional, Raven Harding.
Thank you so much, Bryce. Good evening, everyone. My name is Raven Harding, and I am so excited to serve as the secretary for BYP this year. This is my first year serving on the leadership team, and I will be helping to keep us nice and organized for our upcoming meetings and events this year. A little about me: I am a native to the East Coast. Shout out to the DMV. But spent my formative and subsequent college years in the DFW area. I am a proud Southern Methodist University alumna with degrees in public health and psychology. Currently, I serve as a healthcare professional in the DFW area, specializing in clinical research. Outside of my scrubs, you can find me enjoying a trending Netflix series, nerding out to science podcasts, perfecting my cooking skills, and this is a work in progress, so pray for me, and spending time serving the community with my sorority. And I see a few of you all up here, so excuse me, my sorors. The biggest driving force in my work is remaining purposeful with my passion. I aim to use my gifts to promote public health awareness and foster hope in the communities that I serve. Being rooted with a community-centered lens will allow me to perpetuate the goals of BYP further. I fully believe in utilizing and shaping our talents, assets, and genius to serve and pour back into our communities. I will continue to use my gifts to uplift and inspire the current and next group of young Black and Brown professionals to make their mark on this world and build an unshakable legacy. It starts with us, and together we are unstoppable. I like to close out with my favorite scripture, and that is Romans 8:28, and it says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose." Thank you so much. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Letalia Barnes. She will be serving as this year's program lead. She brings a wealth of experience working in the workforce development, and I am excited to see what she has planned for this year. So without further ado, Ms. Letalia Barnes.
Awesome. Thank you, Raven, and good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Letalia Barnes, and I'll be serving as the programs lead for this year. I am truly honored for this opportunity to work with this longstanding organization to serve the professionals, the young professionals in Collin County area. For me, the Dallas-Fort Worth area has been my home for over 10 years. I recently moved to the McKinney area this past year. Professionally, I focused my time primarily in social services, specifically helping individuals get access to resources and training to help find their next employment opportunities. My goal as program lead is to provide the BYP network information, access, and resources tailored to our members' needs, goals, and their interests. To help meet those goals, I am happy to announce that Michael Ordiari will be serving on the programs committee. Professionally, Michael has an extensive experience working in marketing, technical project management, and is also the founder and CEO of Check, a web application designed to help make traffic stops safer for both drivers and law enforcement. Michael is passionate about sharing his insights on how to launch and maintain a successful startup, and I'm excited for Michael to contribute his knowledge and skills to this team. With that said, we have a lot of exciting events planned for this year, designed to create both a formal and informal opportunity for our members to network and participate in social initiatives. We plan to continue hosting our annual events, such as our scholarship competitions, to help us celebrate local students with an opportunity to apply for scholarships. We want to host a youth entrepreneurship competition where BYP will showcase up-and-coming entrepreneurs, where they'll have an opportunity to receive guided support to develop their business plan, create a marketing strategy, build out their financial plan, and of course, practice that pitch. We want to also be a valuable resource to our members by hosting discussions about available grants, policies, resources, and economic development that may impact small business owners. We also plan to host spotlight events to showcase our women, minorities in leadership, technology, local business owners, and community leaders that are paving the way in our county. Last but not least, we also want to have a blueprint series where it's designed to provide tools and methods for topics such as rebuilding or building your brand. If you're unemployed or you're looking for your next opportunity, we'll also host workshops on how to leverage community resources, create a job search strategy, interviewing skills, and resume writing. Guys, this is just the start to what we have in store. And I can say safely that Michael and I are very excited to meet and work with more of the BYP community this year. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the fundraising director, Nicholas Threlkeld.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Latalia. Greetings, BYP, and all of the guests today for joining in with us. This is a pleasure of a lifetime to be serving you all. My name is Nick Threlkeld, and I am the fundraising advisor. I will be over funding and leading a team for this organization this fiscal year. Originally, I am from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've spent over 10 years working in the financial services industry, as well as participating in many political campaigns back home. My Texas story began when I relocated here over 4 years ago to pursue a career in workforce services, where I've been able to engage with job seekers and employers in a way to just mend the gap. We understand that in the midst of COVID, this is a trying time where we have to do what we can to bring development and jobs back to our community. I can say in my tenure here thus far, I've been able to acclimate myself to the Texas way of life. With that being said, everything is bigger in Texas. The roads are bigger, the buildings are bigger, but more importantly, I believe the dreams are bigger. I'm a firm believer that one's path is determined by one's ability to dream beyond their scope. So it is important for us to continue this desire as we embody that motto for this organization. I will be leading the team again, to increase our sponsorship, our funding, our partnerships, and donations to ensure that we can bring you more events like this that will bring so much knowledge and resources back to our community. By doing so, we will create sizable scalability as we grow our brand, create a targeted reach, and then also impact the small businesses here in Collin County and abroad. We have the talent, we have the resources, and now it's time for us to truly own this moment. For it's moments like this that will reshape and redefine what the young Black professional will mean in this community to come and years to come. I look forward to connecting with all of you, bringing my many ideas to fruition with you all, and ensuring that we leave a legacy that will define us in years to come. This is a grand opportunity, so I really look forward to creating legacy with all of you. At this time, I'll take a moment to introduce our communications lead, Terence Bryant. I can say one thing about him, as he is working so vigorously to ensure this event goes well in hand. If you're searching for a problem, or if there is a problem, he is a man with many solutions. So Terrence, you definitely have the floor.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Terrance Bryant, and I am very excited and honored to serve the BYP of Collin County as its communication lead. I'm originally from Tennessee and found my way here to McKinney back in 2015, leaving Nashville after about 9 years. I've spent my work life in the technology space, focusing on enterprise software design and development, and I've worked for various startups and small companies, as well as national and global businesses. I've got kind of a knack for identifying a problem or a set of problems, and usually they're overlooked, and I can follow up with creative solutions to resolve them. So this year, I want to lend those skills to the BYP. As communication lead, my first goal was to ensure that we had a vision, and we do this year. Our vision is to create a good foundation, a good base, and create scale. We also have extended our communications team. We will be rejoined by Victoria Mahe this year. We will also be joined by Ricky Pete, both of which are social media gurus, digital specialists. We've got some photography in the mix. There's a lot of stuff there that I'm really excited about. On our plate this year, we have a lot of new things that we want to implement, new website, new event calendars, new business search portals. We've got ideas for YouTube channels, live streaming events, as well as recorded events and training, a member voice for our sponsors so that they can kind of spotlight themselves, a new blog, clubhouse events. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do this year. And this team is going to help us realize that vision. I don't want to spoil everything. We'll be rolling things out quarterly this year, so I'll save a little bit. But before I end and hand it back to KC, I kind of want to talk about what it means to be a communications team member. It was very important for us to have some standards to kind of go by. So this year we're going to be focusing on engaging the community. And not just reaching out to talk to them. We also want to validate that what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're communicating is good information, and we want to get feedback. We're going to analyze it. We're going to capture a lot of data. It's very easy to send an email to someone or send a flyer, but we want to know the numbers. How many people are signed up for the event? How many people actually came to this event? We'll talk about that this evening. And then after we do all of that, after we get all of that data, we can really talk about innovation. That's something I'm extremely passionate about. But before we can get to innovation, we've got to ensure that we've got a solid base and solid foundation. So we're putting all the pieces in place to have an amazing year. And honestly speaking, I'm looking forward to the next few years after we lay the groundwork this year. So thank you very much. Like I said, I'm looking forward to serving BYP this year. And you'll hear a lot more from us from the communications team. I'm going to hand it back to our chairman, KC.
Absolutely. As chairman, you can clearly see how excited I am to work with a team just full of strong executive leaders, right? And they're committed to serving our community. They have a passion for it, and it's just that drive is what's going to drive us to success. Just like last year, the foundation that was built, that's what's going to drive us to success this year. A little bit about me. Growing up in Katy, Houston area during my childhood years, I played football. Like most kids, I dreamed of being a successful professional athlete one day in the NFL. My goal was to help my single mother become more financially stable, giving her the opportunity to retire early from her job. I was also going to use my platform to give back to those who are either my close family or friends or those in my community who may need my help, right? Here in the States and internationally in Africa. Now, this inspiration as a kid drove me physically and mentally to work hard in achieving my dreams, which landed me a football scholarship at Southern Methodist University. During my career there, I played running back for coaches June Jones and Chad Morris. I was also able to obtain my bachelor's in economics and master's in sports business management. Apart from BYP, I'm a commercial insurance broker who represents Patterson and Associates Insurance. We are a family-owned independent agency who focuses on commercial, business, and personal homeowners insurance. As a broker that represents Patterson and Associates, I handle property and casualty insurance policies for small and mid-sized businesses. And I will tell y'all my primary focus as a young entrepreneur is to focus on Black and minority-owned businesses. For these owners, my goal is to help protect their most important assets, making things convenient for them to do business with me as their broker. Now let's move on to talk a little bit about our mission. See, there seems to be this false narrative as an African American in this country, in our country, that we don't like to help or see our own brothers and sisters succeed, which is crazy to me because the odds of us actually experience our own definition of the American dream are already against us, right? As a young Black Nigerian growing up in America, my family, my mother, especially, has always used this phrase: it takes a village to raise a child. Interesting. It's true that most of us have experienced and dealt with some form of hardship in our lives, whether that's through economic poverty, discrimination because of our own race, or maybe we've experienced the loss from a close family friend, maybe due to the lack of resources in our community that prevents us from getting the proper treatment, or maybe we've lost some individuals due to gun violence in the streets. It is those odds that are generally stacked against us, but it is in our blood, in our culture, to overcome the hardest obstacles we experience as Black and Brown Americans. Together we can empower, we can build, and we can enjoy each other's success, watch each other grow within our community moving forward. As an organization, our goal is to continue to build a flourishing and supportive community of young Black and Brown professionals through community involvement and providing resources to help better our members become successful in all of their endeavors. Through networking platforms, we'll be able to connect with other professionals who are interested in a supportive group that has the resources to help their business grow. We are an organization dedicated to providing young professionals from similar backgrounds with educational guidance and financial literacy, networking opportunities, and skill development to develop them in both professional and personal growth. Now let's focus on our three pillars. That is mentorship, partnership, and sponsorship. Our vision for those who are currently college graduates looking for a new career in corporate America, our goal is to connect those new members with an opportunity for an internship. We will be able to help guide young entrepreneurs who have a passion to launch his or own business idea through the resources, well as connecting with high school graduates. They find any successful not go the traditional route of going to college, right? Our mentorship program is a platform to help those grow personally and professionally, and through the course of their career. Part of our goal is to continue our second program that Letalia, our program's leader, mentioned earlier. That program is for our young entrepreneurs that we established last year by our founding fathers. Our partnership program, BYP, proposes one question in regards to partnership. How can we help serve you and your business? I mean, seriously, in order for us to accomplish our goals towards community involvement, we must establish partnership with our community leaders. That is partnership with corporate to local business owners and other nonprofit organizations in the area who share similar views as BYP of Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce. As for our sponsorship program, we are looking to represent different companies to the best of our abilities as a young professional nonprofit organization. We would need resources to accomplish these goals as we strive to serve our community. Your support will be well appreciated and shared through our platform as we create different ways to promote your contribution towards our success. As we move forward tonight, as mentioned earlier, we have guest speakers Ronnie Green and Nardi Meyers to talk about their journey as young Black successful entrepreneurs who've reached tremendous levels in the DFW area. Now, I've used to train with my boy Ronnie Green, and to see the stage that he's at now is completely amazing. I will now pass it on over to my partner Daniel, who will take a deeper dive into their perspective as Black entrepreneurs. Daniel, take the lead.
Thank you, KC. Yeah, we got a really good treat for you guys tonight. Ronnie Green, Leonard Myers, two great stories. They're gonna have a lot of knowledge for you. I really can't wait for them to get it out. I'll let them go ahead and take a deeper dive. I don't want to ruin your bio here. I'll start with you. Nardi, you can go ahead and go first. Kind of give us a little bit about your bio here and your background. Let us know about you.
How's it going, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in to gain some information, knowledge, wisdom, a little bit of everything. And thank you guys for having me to be a guest speaker. I'm very honored to be here. Thank y'all once again for having me. A little bit about myself. My name is Leonard Myers, as my boy Dan mentioned. I grew up in the Waco Temple area when the crime rate was really bad. So I had to get accustomed to dealing with seeing gang violence, drugs, like right in front of my face, as if like life isn't as if life is supposed to be filtered. My mom, who raised 5 beautiful kids by herself, 4 girls, I'm the only boy, so I had to become man of the house very early. She was in and out of prison, so I had to find like the temporary love while she was gone, and so that pushed me to instead of crying myself to sleep every night, to find a different way to go about it, because that wasn't me crying wasn't going to change that. So I decided to do really good in school, really good in sports, and that just so I can make her a proud mom whenever she came back home from jail before she would have to go right back. So I found a different way. I learned how to find a positive in every situation, even as a kid early on. So that made me very strong. Fast forward to me going to high school, excelling very well or very fast. My mom was like, you know, you don't have to go to college. My dream for you was to just graduate high school, because nobody in my family went to college. I was blessed with these talents that God blessed me with to be really good at basketball, football, track, cross country. And so I got blessed with a full-ride scholarship to go play football at Tarleton State University. And so thank God for that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got the opportunity to go, because I felt like I wasn't suitable for college or smart enough. Now I'm an entrepreneur, trying my best to be a doer for as many people as I possibly can who comes my way, and give them the information and insight that I've learned along the way and the stuff that I'm learning right now. So to be here, man, it's an honor, because I definitely don't feel like I'm supposed to be in this position right now. So thank you guys once again.
No, thank you, Nardi. I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yes, sir.
We got some more good ones for you. I'll pause for a second and switch over to Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie, I'll let you go ahead and take it over.
Hey, Dan, it's an honor to be here. KC, thank you for this opportunity. I was at you guys' event last year with my current business partners. So see you guys continue the success during the pandemic, continuing to provide value in the Black community. I mean, that's great. Just to kind of dive right into my story. So the one that's circulating right now. So I'm currently the founder and CEO of AlgoPear. And so what AlgoPear does is a investment app that automates investing for retail traders. And so we're democratizing access that's usually only available to the rich. And so we're making it available to the average Joe and Jill. So the reason I started that, my story, I was once living out my car in college. I played football just like KC, but I had some rough times. I made a lot of young mistakes that I owned up to. But I quickly turned that around when I decided to pursue stock trading. And that's where I turned $5 grand into $103,000 within 1 year. Completely changed my life, completely just put, finances in a new perspective for me. I seen life a lot different because I didn't have that same money worry, but that didn't stop me there. I started to notice that people were reaching out to me. People wanted to know more about how can they change their life. These were the same people that seen me sleeping in my car. Some of my friends to this day, they say, man, like we knew you were destined to help others, because from that, I started a community and I was inspired to help others, to take a few thousand and to turn it into a nice size income or a nice size capital gain. And from that community, I really learned that a lot of retail investors don't have the same access and resources as the rich do. And that also ties into Black businesses and the reason why I think this community and this commerce is really great. So that's my story. That's why we created AlgoPear, so that we can help those retail investors and empower those. And also I'm happy to be here to kind of share my knowledge and my my story and some of the things that I've learned along the way. So yeah.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. And again, I think that's something that all of us here can take value of. We've all been at that point in our life, very young, you've made your mistakes. You're trying to realize, what can you do to get on the right path? What can we do to kind of right the ship, so to speak? speaking with some of the team members, we formulated some questions. You know, what advice would you give yourself or your former self at that point in time, you know, about starting your business or maybe taking that leap or finding that courage, you know, to start your own business?
Is that a question for me or is that going to Leonard?
Indeed. Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So I think the advice I would give to my former self would be try as many things as possible. Don't be afraid to jump out there and embarrass yourself because along that path, you'll find your passion. You'll find what you're really driven towards. And then once you figure out your passion, man, just stay on that path and, you know, tell everybody about your vision. Everybody that you can, you know, meet and everybody that you run across, tell people what you're doing because networking is key to getting those resources, to getting more access to more business professionals.
Thank you. Thank you for that. You know, we had a question for Nardi here. You know, especially given the current climate. Last week, for example, Snowmageddon in Texas, you know, things that are unexpected, we just can't plan for them. You know, how does one in an entrepreneur standpoint, you know, bounce back from these type of unexpected setbacks?
Man, honestly, I'm glad you asked me that question because a lot of people, one of my business, I'm known for being mobile. So with the snowstorm happening and the roads being froze over, people being afraid to drive, it's like, oh man, what do? You can't work, right? So there's a positive in everything. You just got to find it. So I've been experiencing setbacks since I was able to fathom what was going on in the world. So from me experiencing it early on, I was able to grow like a really strong mindset. So for me, it was just another day, right? So I do e-commerce stuff as well. So I just kept pushing the advertising with that. I was still doing photo shoots and commercials. So I would find a way to get over there and still make it happen. A lot of people oftentimes they gather together and be so negative and dwell on what's going on instead of being around people that's like thinking outside the box. Like a lot of times the world wants you to think the way they want you to think, but there's a way to think outside the box. Just surround yourself with the people that you inspire to be like, or that motivates you to make a difference or make a change in a way that you don't see a change or make a difference at any way possible. So for me, I took it as like a challenge. I'm like, okay, no snow, I can't cut, no worry, I'm gonna figure something out, watch this. And so my clients was like, hey man, do you still travel in the snow? I'm like, listen, I'm on the way, what time I need to be there? You know, I still made things happen. I wasn't afraid to wreck my car. I know there's a way that you can drive in the snow. People drive reckless, you know, do donuts and all this stuff. I'm a believer in God, and I know at the end of the day, if I put my mind to it, God gonna make sure I see it through because I have all the right intentions, nothing malicious at all.
That's major. I know, especially for myself, man, that last week was rough, you know, and it's easy to slip into dark places or
absolutely,
you know, kind of get down on yourself. You know what I mean? Positivity, and I think that's one thing that you ripped on there. I definitely want to harp is so important, and it's so key to keep that fresh mindset. You know, what do you do on a daily basis to kind of you know, keep yourself in that positive mindset, but not only you know, kind of foster for the future?
Yes, sir. So the first thing that I do is that I thank God for waking me up to see another day that wasn't promised. That's the first blessing that oftentimes we as humans tend to miss out on because we so quick to complain about, oh, I got to go to work, I didn't get enough sleep. And that's natural. That's natural, right? So every morning I wake up, I go work out. Then when I get back home, while I'm cooking, I put on some motivational stuff to help feed my mind while I'm thinking. I tend to watch Les Brown, Eric Thomas, and occasionally I watch a few other people because I like to switch up the diversity between Steve Harvey as well. I can relate to them more because of the similar background. And so the things that they say, I'm able to take with it and take off. Some people, I hear it, and if I don't feel like it hit me, then I don't use it. You know, you got to filter certain things out. That helps me a lot because a lot of people depend on me to like be the light, to like be happy, you know, because I started a brand and it started off as a wellness check because people need people to make sure they're okay. Now, as much as we ask somebody, hey, how's your day going today? And really, I'm like, they'll give you the surface answer. Oh, I'm doing okay. You're like, okay, cool. You know, you mind your business. It's like, no, how are you feeling? Like, what's high and low for the day? And once you actually start digging into it, people start actually telling you what's going on. And for you, you have to be the ear to listen. You don't have to always be a problem solver. So for me, I give them this positive charge of, hey, wake up, make sure you have a great day today, and don't forget to smile. But this is real energy. It's not like a facade of like, I mean, he don't be this happy for real. It's like, oh no, I seen him pulling all-nighters, cutting hair, still go straight to the gym, and he still got the same energy. Like, this guy does not stop. And I love McDonald's. What? I love McDonald's. So they like, man, this dude eat like this, his body look like this. He's so happy, he never sleeps. So it's like, why not listen to him whenever he has all of this energy? So it's like, okay. So then they rely on me. Hey man, thank you so much. I needed that scripture today when I posted on my story. Hey man, thank you so much. I needed that energy boost. And I'm like, see, I can't stop. Like, even on a day where I feel like completely like, man, I just need to hide from the world. So then I'll still post that scripture, and I'll still post a little motivational video, even if it's not a video of myself. I still know people rely on me. So that's why I do what I do and how I stay motivated with my routine, because routine will lead you to success. You just got to make sure you have the right one.
No, definitely. I agree with you 100%. You know, and I think you hit on it a little bit. I wanted to ask Ronnie as well. You know, Nardi, you had mentioned, you know, you try to keep people around you that have the same mind space, the same mentality. Ronnie, I wanted to ask you, you know, how would you feel as far as your inspiration? You know, where do you find inspiration, and how important is the circle and the group around you in order to harness that? Inspiration there. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm gonna bounce off of Leonard here. First of all, Eric Thomas is that dude. I listen to him every morning. He resonates with me. Like, he talks that real talk, you know, and not that, you know, feel good speech that you usually hear from most motivational speakers. But for me, it's really, you know, I know that I was put here to do something bigger than me. So it's not just me relying on myself for self. It's me knowing, hey, whether that's friends, family, or people who need change in the world, I know that when I get up, I'm not living life for just myself. And that just, I don't know, that lights a fire in me. And I'm just like motivated to keep going hard, because something I learned in football all my life was you're playing for the next man. You're playing for your brother. And so that motivates you and gives you extra energy to keep going. Because when you see people struggle, or when you see people successful, it's the same reaction. It's like, hey, I see my brother succeeding. That motivates me and inspires me. When I see people struggle, I want to help. I want to do something that's going to be able to empower them and to help them get to the next level, or to help them reach that milestone. So for me, every day, it's those affirmations. It's listening to Eric Thomas, like Leonard, and it's me knowing that, hey, what I'm doing today is going to impact people today and even in the future.
And I think I can speak for myself as well as the rest of us on the board here. You know, that's what drives us. That's why we set this up. That's why we're here today. That's why we host the events that we host, in order to extend that hand. Because I feel like, you know, again, speaking for myself, I've had different opportunities and situations because of the hands that were extended to me. And if I can do that for somebody else, you know, that's the bigger impact. That's the bigger goal, the bigger driver for all of us, most definitely. You know, kind of harping on that same aspect, right? Supporting and lending help to others, and asking for that, you know, extending that hand of help. How can we as a community help Black businesses and support Black businesses to a higher level? You know, what are some steps that we can take? That's a question for either of you. I'd love to get a response, you know, both of your perspectives here.
I'll let Leonard go first. I like his energy, so let's go.
Okay, I appreciate it, Mr. Ronnie. Man, honestly, we okay, I'm not gonna say we. As a culture of Black people, if you look at the different races, from whites, and I'm not trying to be racist, I promise I'm not racist. I love everybody. You got the whites, you got the Asian, Filipinos, all the other races in the world. They all shop with each other, they spend money with each other, they help each other grow as a culture, right? And then you got the Black community, we'll buy everything, any and everything from everybody else, but shop with each other, right? And it's kind of hard to understand that because that's what we're used to doing. And then whenever you got people that's actually trying to come together to help Black businesses come together, help Black shop with each other, then you have a good group and then you have the bad group where you got people that sell stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and you get messed over trying to shop Black. Then you got this good side over here where it's like, oh, I've been experienced Black restaurants, Black retailers, and I love them. So we have to elevate the good side more that's seen with the bad, because we trust each other, but we don't trust each other. So the more that we elevate the Black people as the Black businesses, then you will see the value in it. We have the value there. A lot of people just haven't seen it yet. So the only way that we can do that is to keep using this different platforms that elevate whatever culture or race it is on these different platforms, so people can understand that there's still good business out there in the world, whether it be Black, white, whatever race it is. So the elevation is the key to me, is to work, teamwork, make the dream work. So we got to continue to use any and every platform and coming together so people understand.
I like that. I want to piggyback off that too. And just there's a negative light to everything that we do as a culture. There's always the world against us. That's what it seems like. So for us to highlight, the positive more than the negative, there's always, even if it's a white-owned business, there's negative aspects to their business, but you don't really hear a lot of it. But when it comes to Black people shopping with Black people, they're quick to just make a Facebook post, go live and say this business, don't shop with them. But nobody really does that and go live for the business that's really doing things right. And even those businesses that struggle, I think something that we struggle with a lot is customer service, hospitality. And I think America as a nation struggles with that, because I've been in different countries where their hospitality is way different than what it is in America. So, I wanted to add to that. But for me, I think how the community can really help Black-owned businesses, especially in the DFW, there are so many resources now for mentorship and those type of resources. But we as a Black community, we need more funding opportunities. We need more people to write checks. And that's even a capital outside of traditional banks, because banks aren't giving us money. And the venture that I'm in the technology industry, I'm not going a traditional bank route. I went that route. They denied me, even with good credit, even with a high earning income. They will still find ways to not give you money. And so I started fundraising outside of that through the VC route, through angel investors. And I think that we, as in the DFW area, we need to gather more successful Black people and start funding these ideas from these young Black professionals and these young Black entrepreneurs, because these entrepreneurs are creating more jobs for more Black professionals to be hired and keep that money circulating within our community. And I know people call it group economics. That's what we need to get back to. So for those successful Black people, write more checks, look for businesses that are starting out. They need help. It's not just mentorship. There's places to get mentorship, but we need more checks. And I think you guys are starting that initiative. If I remember correctly, that's where it's at, because less than 1% of billions of dollars in the VC community goes towards people of color, founders and entrepreneurs. And that's crazy. That is wild. And we have to do something about that.
I agree. I agree with you, Ronnie. I know that's part of our core values here, is making that impact, making that change, and be able to bridge those connections. As the BYP, that's one of our main initiatives, is to be able to get connections like that and be able to have the opportunities available to all who are searching and looking. I'll take it even deeper for you, Ronnie. Where do you, in your opinion, think Black businesses stand today?
Underfunded, underrepresented. But I do see a great positive change happening. I see more communities like this more than ever. I just exited a community or incubator called Impact Ventures, Black owned. That's their mission, is to elevate people of color in those businesses and providing that mentorship, but also providing the network to reach out to people who have the funds to give your business to start out and to grow a scalable business and successful business. And so I think right now we're still underfunded, but I'm seeing great things, and I want to highlight that positive. These communities like this are really helping from the hiring process to starting a business. It's hitting every point that we need to build our ecosystem, our economy within our community. So I think that's where we're at right now.
I appreciate that insight. I really do. Again, one of the questions that we kind of gathered here, and especially some of the gems that y'all dropped, I want to recap and highlight to make sure we're getting the most of it. As far as the funding, we understand how crucial it is to be able to have the connections to that type of funding to create more opportunities for everybody. One thing that we all talked about as a group, though, being young professionals, being in that group, being in the entrepreneur standpoint, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of where do I start? Where do I begin? And that fears is something that stops a lot of people. What is one of your biggest fears as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome that? What is some insight you can shed on that?
I think my biggest fear was letting down my family, and not, when you start telling your family, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make a way for us, and you start thinking about that pressure that's built like throughout that process of starting and going out on your venture. Just like KC, I had hopes and dreams of going to the NFL, and I had opportunities open, but I realized that wasn't my true passion. And so it was hard for me to say, I really don't want to do this anymore. And I want to pursue innovation and help the world in a different light. And that was one of my biggest fears. So I would say, don't be afraid to fail. Just go out, but also have that support system. Really, have that support system, people who truly believe in your vision and what you're trying to do. And maybe they can't provide money, but maybe they can provide you network, somebody that can help you get to that point. And so, yeah, biggest fear was just fear of failure, letting people down.
Oh, wow. No, I really like that. I really like that insight. Nardi, I'll bounce back to you.
Yes, sir.
Kind of, again, this whole transition period for a lot of people can be difficult because there's so many different routes that they can start off. And, being a young professional, you don't really know what it is till you get out there and you do it. And I'm in IT, one of our favorite sayings is the agile methodology, fail fast, fail hard. And I think that's one of the things that can be applied, universally, but more importantly, how can you continue to build off what you've already achieved? You know what I mean? If that makes sense, how can you build on success and not let complacency build? What is your next step? What is your next move to continue to grow and stretch as an entrepreneur?
Man, that's a really great question. And I would say in order to stay away from complacency, you have to surround yourself with your group of people. They have to be more successful than you are, or more rich, quote unquote, or more wealthy. Because if you're the richest person or the smartest person in your group, then you're not going to be able to elevate, because they're going to keep bringing you down until they elevate you. And so for me, I have a lot of my closest friends. It may be one, it's not necessarily above me, quote unquote. And what I mean by above is like they have way more than you because they started before you did. And so you're trying to catch them, and they're trying to catch the person that's above them. And it could be a few $1 million away, or it could be 3 businesses away. But your circle is very important, because it can either destroy you or have you be very successful. And the complacency it slips in as soon as you feel like, okay, well, I have more money than anybody in my family, or I'm living comfortably now, I don't have to work as hard. You always have to have that hunger, but we oftentimes lose that hunger once we get to the comfortable state to where that complacency slips in. So you have to constantly do for other people in order for you to get more, because there's an invisible ceiling that we reach as business people or anything that we do in life. But the only way to go up is to do for other people, and God gonna bless you to go to the next level. And a lot of people, they misunderstand that. You can have all the money in the world, but if you haven't helped one person, you're gonna go right back down. You can have not very much, but you keep doing for so many people and you stay focused and you wonder like, how do I get next to this? I'm not qualified to be here. But you're doing for so many people, God is gonna continue to bless you. So just stay focused, stay locked in, and surround yourself with people that pushes you more than, or that makes you want what they have, and that want what they want. They have a person that's well above them that want, and they want what they have.
I love that. That goes to, one of my favorite sayings, iron sharpens iron. And keeping that carrot, that prize in front of your head, you're continuously chasing. That way it kind of defeats that complacency that can grow and ultimately harm. Complacency, in my opinion, is definitely something we all strive to stay away from, excuse me. But I really appreciate your insight on that. Ronnie, I wanted to see if you had any insight for us, again, some ways that you help and help yourself to maintain and stay away from complacency.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leonard hit the nail on the head. Just surrounding yourself around other like minds. My dad used to always say, hey, if you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. And I didn't understand that until I got into some trouble with people who were bringing me down. I just couldn't see it. They were my friends, close friends I grew up with, and they weren't elevating me. And so being around such great people who are at a new level, maybe they don't have as much money, but they're more successful in the sense of they're doing what they love. And when you see that, when you see people that you're grinding with and that you share your experience with, you see them successful and you see them reach new heights, man, it just keeps you motivated. It keeps you going. And so I just have the same sentiment as Leonard. It's just like you have to surround yourself around like minds and people who have been where you're trying to go. And if you don't have those people in your circle, I mean, it's going to be tough. And I like Dan Pena. Dan Pena says, you are who you hang with. And if you hang with bums, you're going to be a bum. If you hang with successful people, you'll eventually be successful. Birds of a feather flock together. So there's so many sayings out there, but it's so simple, but people actually don't execute on it and actually network and get around people and be uncomfortable.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And again, really quick, guys, I just wanted to take a time again to thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Leonard, for all the insight and answering the questions that you've given us. One of the questions we formulated here as a group was, as a BYP, as our group and our foundation, what can we do, or what would you like to see from us in order to, help bridge these connections and bring more connections and availability of opportunities to our community?
Ronnie, you got it. Show out, Ronnie. Do your thing, Ronnie.
I got you. Keep doing things like this. Bring people who have, done what people are trying to do in the community. You guys know what the community needs more than others. You guys are in the day-to-day trenches. So for those main struggles that people are dealing with, or maybe people want to see, keep doing stuff like this. This is great. I have ample amount of people who are way more successful than me, would love to come on here and to love to give their experience. And so, just keep it up. Keep up the great work. Stay focused on it. I like how you guys have found a way, during the pandemic to really keep adding value. So that's what I would say.
And to go off of what Ronnie said, like this Zoom thing is amazing. Everybody has their own following, believe it or not, even if it's your nieces and nephews that look up to you, or if it's thousands of people that know what you do as a profession. Having different various people on here is going to bring more attention to what you guys do. And that way, whatever you guys are trying to highlight will be like amplified that much more. So I would say continue to do things like this, because I have a nice little size following, but I do more like the stuff that I do for people is not really glorified, because I don't do it for attention. I do it behind closed doors. So y'all to have a platform for it, this is amazing. So I'm here to share as much as possible of everything that you guys do. So anything I can do to help, if y'all need some of my big time clients, I got y'all. I'm gonna find a way to make it happen because people need to see what you guys have going on. It's amazing.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And in the same breath, you know, Ronnie and Leonard, you know, how can we connect to the services that y'all offer? What are some platforms, or what's a good way for us to, you know, kind of get a good idea for what y'all got going on?
Yeah, you can go to www.algopear.com. I'm on Instagram. I think my handle is Ronnie Green the Great. So you can hit me up on any social media personally. If KC has my personal contact, so if anybody wants to talk to me after this, I'm always happy to jump on a call anytime throughout the day that I'm available. So yeah, that's how you can reach out.
And for me, I want to stay in touch and learn more about you guys on top of seeing what I can do to help as well. So we can, you guys can reach out to me if you need my number, Instagram, same, it's I am Nardi on Instagram. And if you need my number, Dan has it, or you can hit me up on here and I'll gladly give it to you. I'm all about trying to grow and help others do the same. So listen, if y'all can help and I can help y'all, let's do it. I'm here for it.
Awesome. Well, again, like I said, I really appreciate y'all taking the time out to be able to answer some of our questions. Let us pick your brain and really get some good insight. I know I got a lot of value. I hope everyone else got a lot of value. I'm going to transition it over to our chairman, Mr. KC, and I'll pass the mic. There we go.
I mean, wow. I mean, that's straight gems right there, right? Dropping so much knowledge, tools, information that we can use in our everyday life, right? Some encouraging words from these two young entrepreneurs who are African American in our country, right? So it's a unique trend that's going on, man. It's just to see Ronnie and Leonard go this far, you know, and reaching these heights. We're super excited for what they have in stores, including with AlgoPear, and you know, with Nardi just as an entrepreneur, what he's doing with Cut Hair as well. And just as we continue to connect, we're looking for that partnership. We're looking to form that, and just see how we can help and give back to our community. So thank y'all so much for the information y'all shared, those gems, those knowledge. That's just so A1. So glad that we were able to have y'all on board with this tonight. So now I would like to pass this on to our former president, who created under her administration the BYP last year, right? This is Ms. Dee Dee Bates. Ms. Dee Dee Bates has impacted so many young lives in our community, including us at the board. As a great mentor, she has dedicated her time to building young individuals into becoming successful entrepreneurs. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, straight up, if it wasn't for her, we would not have this platform as a young organization of color for Collin County that I have today. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming Ms. Dee Dee Bates.
Wow. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate that. I really do. Hello, everyone. Hi. As Casey mentioned, my name is Dee Dee Bates, and I'm so happy to be here with everyone on the call tonight. This is a great night. It's our kickoff meeting for the Collin County Black Young Professionals, and we thank you for being here with us today. I am so proud, just so proud of the growth and of the success, and most importantly, the unity that was created through the Black young professionals. You see, because I understand, and I think everybody on this call understands as well, that in unity, there is strength. So I'm so excited. And Daniel, you did a phenomenal job at moderating that panel. And I'm gonna tell you, Leonard and Ronnie, you guys brought it. A big hand of applause to both of you. Sharing, being your authentic self is what it's all about. And Leonard, I heard you loud and clear, and you kept mentioning it over and over and over again. You kept saying it's the mindset, positivity, positive mindset. You know, you got to find the good in every bad, and that's the secret. And for you to be such a young professional to understand that, and all of the adversity, things that we as a community have to go through, you understand that it takes a positive mindset to get through. And so thank you for sharing that knowledge and dropping that down, that word of wisdom for everyone to hear. You know, most of us may know it, but it's good to just reinforce it and to remember that. Because if you think about success, you have to understand that 95% of your success is where? It's in the mind. It's your mindset. The other 5% is strategy. We got that. So thank you, Leonard. We appreciate that. Ronnie, wow, service, service, service. That's all I kept hearing as you spoke. You know, the commitment of service. And see, in service, that's where you find your purpose. And so it was just humbling to hear you say that, for me anyways, you know, because it's bigger. What we do is bigger than you, and it's bigger than me. And I just love that, you know, that you just kept that mentality. And I'm gonna tell you, it's very inspiring. So you guys keep going, keep pushing, keep pressing. It's very inspiring. And thank you for blessing us tonight, young and old. We were blessed. Thank you. Now, for my leaders, the 2021 leaders, I say now I'm going to tell you, my counterpart, the person that passed that torch to, Miss Kimberly, she's here with us, and she's taking that torch and she's moving it forward. But I say for Collin County Black young professionals, because you will always have a part of my heart. As KC mentioned, it started under my administration, you know, and it was one of these things. It was a vision that I had long before the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce. In fact, the planning and the thought of it came with someone that's on the call with me as well, our past leader.
On some of the topics, things that we don't get to share in the masterclass, or things that we, you know.
I'm sorry, Kim, is that you, Kim?
We really need to talk about this a little bit more. I think we should.
Kim. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Sorry about that. But going back, the forming of the BYP started prior to the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, in discussion with Quinn Akers and Austin Akers, who's on the call with me tonight as well. And so if everybody I'm a type person, I just like to see it, you know, so we can feel it. So there's two things I want to do before we kind of just go into the overview of how it came to be, you know, where we're going, some of the things we did in the past. Before we do that, I just want to give a little bit more love to all the leaders that have led in the past. So what I'm going to ask everybody on the call to do right now is turn your video off and allow those that served in the last 2 years to keep your video on, just so everybody can see your face. And you can actually stop this if you want to stop the video so we can show everybody's face. I don't know if we can do that. I mean, I don't know. I can test Terrence right now, our tech guy. I don't know, but if not, it's okay. We can do it after this. But I definitely want to give love and respect to everyone, and let everybody still see who the leaders are, who are leading us into, or has that torch and moving forward now. And I also want to recognize those leaders that we had in the past that passed the torch on. So it's so important to me. I always like to show recognition and make sure that everyone that's serving, because this is a volunteer opportunity. You know, we're serving from our heart. You know, it's not a paycheck at the end of the day, but we're here because we care. So I say that, as you can all see on the presentation, is just a beautiful picture of the Collin County Black young professionals who served in the term of the last 2 years. And that's a beautiful picture, isn't it? And you will see who they were led also by the past chair and past co-chair, Quinn and Austin Akers. And I know they may have a moment to speak in the next few slides to take you through what they did when they were serving, you know, in their administration. And it's great things. And I know everybody be excited to hear about it. But I just want to say that this is a phenomenal group of people, you know, and our vision when we started to form the Black young professionals, and we say Black and brown, you know, we're all God's people, right? It's really a hope that we can, through networking and collaboration and even professional programs, that young professionals within Collin County would have the opportunity to engage, you know, with other like-minded young professionals in the community, those that look like you and serving and are taking that leadership role. One of the things that Ronnie had mentioned is, like, you know, you have to be in that circle. I think it was Ronnie. I think you said it, Ronnie. You know, who's reaching to go further. You want to be in that circle of those that want to win. So that's the main reason why it was formed. And I think it did. I think that it did a great justice in Collin County. And so what I would like to do at this time is I really want to take you through some of the things that has happened and transpired while we had the Black young professionals. And to do that, I can't do it better than Ms. Quinn Akers. So I hope that Ms. Quinn Akers is on the line. I have not skimmed through the platform to see who's all here, but Ms. Quinn, if you're here, and Mr. Austin, if you're here, if you can please turn your video on and your mic on, and just take us through. This picture that everybody's seeing right here, though, this was the initial lead, the initial board, leadership board. Later, Victoria joined us, of course, but this is us. This is the group that says, you know what, I accept the charge to serve our community. And as you can see, you have KC, you have Daniel, you have Quinn, you have Austin. Oh, wait, we're back. Okay. And then we have Victoria. I'm sorry, Casey, Daniel, Quinn, Victoria, Austin, and Bryce. And so, Ms. Quinn Love, are you on the call right now? Let me see, let me minimize my screen real quick so I can see.
I sure am.
Oh, there she is. Yes. Take it away, Ms. Quinn.
Okay, before I even say anything, I want to say how proud I am of this organization and the leaders. Like, you guys are doing phenomenal things. I am so proud of y'all. Casey, Daniel, the whole crew, y'all are doing amazing things. And I keep saying I'm so proud of y'all. But as Miss Dee said, it started off from a vision. It started off from literally piece of paper, some meetings, and trying to pull together and find some people who wanted to make a difference within Collin County. So this is the dream team that we started off with. Like I said before, I'm proud of you guys. And as you can see below, there's a photo of one of our first events outside of our kickoff events. You can tell that this is pre-COVID because we are very close to each other, not wearing masks. But it was a great turnout. I can't really say anything else other than it started off with us just trying to tap into a community of people who we knew were underrepresented at the time during Women's History Month, and that was minority women in tech. And so it was one of our greatest events. But go ahead, Terrence, you can go to the next one. What kind of transpired afterwards is we realized in 2020 that we needed to pivot. We needed to think quick. We needed to be creative and find needs that our community needed during the time in which the whole pandemic exploded. So everyone on this call who's been a leader already knows we were like, man, we got to throw that whole planning we did in January, February out the window and start grinding and coming out with new ideas to help our community when they really needed us the most. So one of the core things, our 3 core values, we still kept that in mind. It was community involvement, it was networking opportunities, and it was making sure that we were still building those relationships within our community as well to make a larger impact. And so you'll see on the screen here, we had the NAACP Collin County partnership was one of our largest ones. And I think they're still a great partner of you guys as well, but we band together. We supplied resources to our community when kids were going back to school at a very strange time. And so very proud of that partnership. Feel free, Terrence, to go to the next slide. Feels weird not being able to navigate as I'm talking, by the way, but but yeah, it was a great opportunity. We were able to meet some very influential people like some of the mayors out there during that time in McKinney. We did continue on with partnerships with NAACP, giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of BYP and share how we're making a difference in some of their meetings as well. But now I'm going to pass it on to my former co-chair, still my life partner, who's going to talk about one of our other great community impacts and partnerships as well.
Oh, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways. All right, cool. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Can you please go to the next slide? So what I want, as I said, specifically what I'll be highlighting on is just a couple other events that we ended up doing over the course of the year. And I honestly loved them. All right. And you know, one of them in particular was the that we'll want to talk about is the Dallas Project, just partnering with Dallas PMI, or Dallas Project Management Institute, for like delivering over like 5,000 masks to like schools in the Collin County area. And that was really interesting because you know, all of us leads, well, Dallas PMI came to us and was like, hey, you know what, we want to get together, we want to get this mask initiative. We see that there's like, you know, a whole lot of like, you know, we have like these masks, and we want to go ahead and like try to figure out how to donate some stuff, right? And so all of us leads, we got together, and we like reached out to like all these different schools in like the area, and we ended up narrowing it down to like about 5 different schools in the Collin County area. And it was just awesome, for everything from having us establish like the drop-offs of those schools, meeting with like the principals. And it was, the reason why it was also really important too is because this is around the time that, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a whole mask shortage. And so it was really difficult to find masks. So being able and like being able to donate those to not only just students, but also teachers to get them prepped for the school year was huge. So that was one. And by the way, I want to give a huge shout out to Victoria, one of the leads, for facilitating and coordinating that. It was awesome. All right. And next slide. Oh, before we do that, anything you want to add at all, Quinn?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, awesome. Okay, and next slide. Now, this personally was my favorite. All right, so this one was the Juneteenth scholarship contest. And as you'll see, I think after I get finished talking about this, there's usually something that happens, as, you know, as Quinn said earlier, we ended up having to pivot. We had our entire year planned out, and we were like doing some major planning for something that was huge that usually happens every summer, called the SECA, which is like the Supply Chain Entrepreneurship Academy. And that's usually like a 2-week long program. And then COVID hit. And as we were planning for that, everyone was like, all right, hey, we're going to have to cancel this. And so we had to figure out something to do instead. And that was this Juneteenth scholarship contest. Now, the overall preface of this contest is specifically like talking about like, what does Juneteenth mean to me, right? That was like our question for this contest. And I mean, honestly, we had quite a few different submissions. It was awesome. And I mean, I know Daniel, Casey, like all of y'all, like y'all loved it. I mean, we were honestly, all of us, we were loving it. So what we were able to do with this is we were able to about roughly do around, I want to say give away around donate around $1,500 worth of like just scholarship, money. And that's not including like, membership and also networking opportunities as well. That was great. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. Anything you want to add at all? Because I know I need to wrap up soon.
No, I think that's it. I think overall, before we pass the torch over to Miss Didi to talk about the supply chain program, is just to say, like, overall, our entire goal was to make sure we were keeping our community forefront and our top priority through all of the initiatives we all worked on fast and furiously. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving us a little split second. And now I'm going to pass it back over to Miss Didi.
Thank you. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, Austin. Great report. So as you can see that the BYP was very, very busy and very embedded into our community. And I just loved it. I loved every part of it. And I'll just say that, Quinn, you were a little bit modest in regards to you and your whole leadership team as far as your involvement with the NAACP. June is just a good friend of mine. She spoke very highly of this organization, of just your involvement. I mean, Quinn, I know you even served on a panel with other community leaders and spoke in regards to the importance of voting. And so I know that you had a lot of hands. You all had a lot of hands in making sure that BYP had a voice to make sure that we educated our community and so forth. And the mask, oh my goodness, I was able to actually go out on one of the trips with the Black young professionals and deliver masks, and just to see the expression on the teacher's face or the administrators that collected the masks, it was just like, it was so humbling to witness. And so I thank you all for taking time out of your schedule. This was during the day. I mean, everybody works, right? That they took time out of their schedule and went out to these elementary schools and delivered these masks. And it was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm gonna tell you, everybody saw you. Everybody saw you. And I say that to let you know, before I talk about the Supply Chain Entrepreneurship Academy, I have to say, congratulations. Congratulations to the Black young professionals of Collin County. Congratulations. I don't know if everybody can see this, but this is an award that was presented to you all by the Project Management Institution of Dallas. And the award says Community of the Year Award. Community of the Year nominee award to the Black young professionals. And it just shows the work that you've done is noted. Thank you all so much for that. And I'm just going to take you on a quick glance into our Supply Chain Entrepreneurship Academy, because this, guys, was the heartbeat of our program within the Black young professionals, because I do believe that we have to reach back and bring one up with us. And you guys are the leaders of tomorrow. And you know what? There's someone behind you that just needs a hand, just need a hand to pull up. And so the SEAL program was designed to provide an opportunity for high school, seniors, juniors, and even recent graduates, so that they can acquire and develop tangible leadership skills. And see, over the course of 2 weeks, these emerging leaders is going to learn how to be entrepreneurs. Everything from the basis of, how to get incorporated or how to develop the business, to actually creating a business. So I'll take you through a few of the slides just so you can kind of see what they did. And so the application process went out. We partnered up with Junior Achievement of Dallas. If you can go back one second. Yeah. New York Life, who I am actually work with. And so kudos, shout out to New York Life, right? Also Alpha Kappa Alpha, the Plano chapter, which is Chi Zeta Omega chapter. They gave 2 scholarships to the organization, or to the program, if you will. Toyota stepped up. Comerica, they funded it. UNT, that's where it was held at their campus in Frisco. And so you can see the students here, they're in the Frisco, brand new Frisco campus. Here they are, they're writing their business plan, because everybody had to create a business plan. And then next, you will see on the next slide, is that there was actually 23 students that actually attended the program. And here's a picture of us all over at the UNT building. And, I don't know, maybe day 3 or 4, but you can see they all have their shirts. And that was a sponsorship as well from one of our chamber members. And so that's just showing the students there. The next slide would just show a little bit more about what they did at graduation day. And so, as I mentioned to you, the first week was all about, how do you become an entrepreneur? What is it involved in being an entrepreneur? They had to create a business plan, actual business. And then what happened is, at graduation, they actually had a project. As you see, almost like, if you were going to, what they call that, it's like the career fairs type thing, when you go and you look at different companies and whatnot. So what happened there is that when they were at the graduation, they had to present their business to everyone. It was a packed house. They had to present their business and why their business would be successful. And then at the end of it, everyone walked through and saw their business, the presentation. They did all kind of, drawings and kind of let everybody know what their business would look like. And at the end, they all got their certificates, and they took the picture here, which I thought was so awesome. The second week was all about supply chain. They actually were able to develop shoes from the scratch product to actual shoes. They saw the whole process, because that's really what supply chain is. If anybody knows anything about supply chain, it's the process. And the funny thing about that is, not too many people talk about supply chain, and it's in every business in the United States. Every business has some form of supply chain, because it's handling the entire production flow of any goods or service. And so every company has that. And so that's why it was so important. So we had instructors came and talked to them about the supply chain and the different, they even had someone that demonstrated beginning to end for the shoe, but also just the product flow, as well as a tour. And the thing about that is, guys, supply chain, based off of salary.com, has an average salary of $110,000. Does our community know about that? That is a essential business. They are going to be in business, because every company needs supply chain. So we're really proud of this. I can go on and on and on about the supply chain and Entrepreneurship Academy. But this year we want to make it bigger and better. And I just know the team that we have that is ready and charged to serve. So I just wanted to give everyone just a glimpse of what that looked like and what we're doing and how we're serving and giving back. And that will be it. If you can flip over to the next slide. In addition to being a member of the Collin County Black Young Professionals, what you can see here is that gives you an invitation to the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce. You get to actually partner with other professionals that actually are doing it, doing great things, they're running successful business, and you get to lean in on them. And so I love that aspect of it. When I brought this, the Collin County Black young professionals to the chamber leadership and says, hey, we want to support them. We want them to be a part of what we have going on, because they're young professionals that are climbing, and they need to know what to do, to make sure their business are growing as well. So again, you get to come on as a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Membership is open to everyone. We always say membership has its benefits, and I always say it's more than a membership, it's a legacy. And so we want to invite you all to come become members today. Don't wait. If you enjoyed this, come today. And I know you have some friends and some, we have guests, we have friends and family that's on the call as well. Everybody on this call knows a young professional that can actually get something from this organization. And I'm going to ask you to walk away from this event and know that you can touch maybe 5 to 10 other people and invite them. First of all, you got to like the pages. You got to like them on social media. You have to follow them. But then you can share and you can tell them to come, to be a part of this, because we're going somewhere and you don't want to miss the ride. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn it back over to KC.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. And as our former executives have mentioned, it's so important, and we are so blessed to have worked with Quinn and Austin Bakers. I mean, what they've established and the example that they set, I'm gonna tell you right now, as chair this year, it's gonna be hard to fulfill the shoes that our chairwoman last year did. Now, I mean, she put a lot together for us, and she, was very adamant about a lot of situations that must have been done, right, through the pandemic. Can you imagine how to navigate that? She did all that while controlling the second program, right, and making sure these kids that are graduating or recently graduating have an opportunity just to gain some more knowledge and more resources. And again, forever grateful for Ms. Dee just to establish this and to, create this platform for us to connect with other young professionals. So more than blessed to have worked with Quinn and Austin. And look, Quinn, just know I'm gonna be hitting you up still. Like, I'm trying to hit you up and still see if I'm doing things, you know what I'm saying, right? So just be on the lookout. And if I do start to annoy you, just let me know. I will annoy you, you know what I'm saying? But again, thank y'all so much for the example that y'all did set. I'm gonna pass this on to our membership executive lead, Bryce, as he just shares a couple of information about our social media, what we have going, and then from there we will end and then we'll close tonight's event. Bryce?
Thanks, KC. And to kind of echo, we're so thankful for Quinn and Austin for their vision and ideal to start this ideal, and definitely Ms. Dee for sure for planting that seed in us to continue on with our vision. And Ms. Dee kind of, she already kind of hit it on membership. So she kind of stole my shine there. So I appreciate that. So I don't have to say as much. But yeah, this is what we do. This is what we're all about, sharing, community involvement, connecting with other like-minded individuals. This is what we're all about. So join us today. That's our social medias are up. See what we're doing. Be a part of this. Bring your ideas to the table, and we would love to see you at all our events and connect with us. So definitely reach out to me. I'll put my email here and phone number as well if you have any questions about membership. And I look forward to seeing you guys. I think we're just at time, but I look forward to seeing you guys at the next event and on social media as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bryce. All right, then, everybody. We are at the end of our event here. We have more exciting events coming up in the future. So we do look forward to connecting with you all as well. And we also look forward to new members to join us. Again, thank you all for y'all's time tonight. You all remain safe, remain blessed, and take care.
One more thing, can everybody, I just want to see who the leaders are. Can everybody just turn off your camera? I just want to see the leaders. I want to see the leaders. Our new 2021 administration. Can I see you all? So, yes. Hi, hello, Terrence, Raven, Dan, Nick. There you are, yes.
Yes,
wonderful. Thank you for serving. Hey, Victoria. Yes, thank you all so much. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You. Okay.
Thank you all for joining.